Hello scholars and welcome to POL 450, Research Methods for Political Science. My name is Brian Gazzetta and I'm going to be your professor for the next 8 weeks in this course. In this video we are going to outline the syllabus. My intent is that we'll run through the syllabus. We'll get, at the conclusion of this, you will have a clear understanding of what the expectations of a student in this course are. And then hopefully I would be able to answer some questions that you potentially have on the grading, course assignments, what this course is all about. So I like to throw together videos to hopefully answer your questions and make it really clear what the expectations are and how you need to navigate this course. These videos are going to become frequent. I release a video each week. At the beginning of the week, which outlines the chapter or what our weekly assignments are, and there will be various videos on our critical assignments. Many of them are going to be like this that you're going to watch. They're narrated PowerPoints or they're narrated screenshots of me navigating through Blackboard and giving you an idea of what we need to get through. So get used to these videos. But here the intent again is this is the syllabus video, so let's jump right in with the course description. So here in POL 450, this course examines the research methods used in political science. Topics addressed in this course include the philosophical and theoretical foundations of social science research, ethical issues related to research, research design, descriptive and inferential statistical analysis, survey, qualitative field, unobstructive and evaluation research, and qualitative data analysis with statistical package for social science SPSS. Students will obtain the statistical knowledge necessary to read and critique scholarly articles and books. In addition, this course will prepare students to use statistical methods in their own research in graduate school or in their professional career. Now, I know by some of you reading that you saw the word stats or statistical analysis mentioned several times, and rest assured this is not a stats class. This is a research methods class. So let's dive into that a little bit and take a few seconds to give us an understanding. Many of you have probably wrote research papers. Many of you have probably wrote dozens of research papers. You were given an assignment in a course, you did a little bit of research, you cited a few maybe books or articles, and you wrote a paper. That's not what this course is. This is research methods for a research project, not a research paper. So what a research project is that there's a question that needs to be answered, that there isn't an answer for. So we come up with some sort of research question. There's something that has not been answered, or there's a question out there that needs research. So we have this question, and then we're going to the process of answering that. And by answering that, we are then going to add to academia. So our research project starts with a question. We go through a process to answer that question, or at least come up with some sort of information based upon that question. And then that information goes into the greater body of knowledge that hopefully other people can use. You can build upon other studies, and that's what a research project is. That's what researchers do, and that's what academic research is. So in this class, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a research project. We're going to build the pieces of it, and we are all going to answer a research question and add to academia. So it's an exciting class for me, and I think it should be an exciting class for you as well. A little bit different than the typical class that you're going to have here at CBU, especially on online here in Ops. And as we navigate through this course, I think you'll understand why. So the next is our online learning. You come down to instructor contact information, Dr. Brian Gazzetta. I have a DPA, so that's a doctorate in public administration. And there is my email address. So in this course and in Ops in general, we are going to communicate strictly through email. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, that is how you are going to contact me with my calbaptist.edu email address. And then I'm out of the Hemet Street office. And if we needed to meet up face-to-face, if it gets to that point, then we will do that based upon, and we'll schedule that through email. Hopefully by this point you have got your textbook, the Writing a Research Paper in Political Science, a Practical Guide to Inquiry, Structure, and Methods. Hopefully some of you enjoy the price of this book and the size of this book. I know as a student myself, those were always two of the topics that I like. But I think you're going to, on the other hand, really enjoy this book. It's short and concise. It gets to the point. There's not a whole lot of filler. It's an easy read, and it has a lot of valuable information. So hopefully you've already worked through that, but we're going to be relying heavily on that book. Then we have our student learning outcomes and the objectives that you can work through, both at the student learning outcomes and the university outcomes. So I'd like if you would take some time and navigate through that. That is what I am attempting, or that's what the intent of this course is for you to meet all those objectives by the end of this course. Then we have some assignments. And rest assured that all your assignments are going to be very clear. Each week, like I said earlier, I'm going to produce a video at the beginning of the week that is going to clearly indicate the expectations for all the assignments, what the grading scale is, what the content that I'm looking for. So you shouldn't have any surprises. I do those videos each week, like I mentioned earlier, and these videos are all live. So this isn't what I do from one course to the next. I try to tailor make each one of the videos at the end of the week, and it will address what this course and this group in particular is having issues with, or any topics that are currently in society. It also helps with some of the holidays that we are going to encounter in this course. But let's talk about what we have here. So we have some written assignments. There are 7 written assignments that we're going to have. Then there's some application assignments. Application assignments are more fancy word for quizzes. So you're applying the information that you read into a quiz form. Then there's some discussion boards. Discussion board questions based on the assigned readings, lectures, or videos will be posted in weeks 2, 4, 6, and 7. Students are required to respond to the instructor's prompts and also respond to at least 2 of their classmates' posting. All responses must be substantive and no less than 250 words. Students must participate throughout the week and not wait until the last day to participate. All discussion board activity is due no later than day 7 of each week, and no credit will be given to late posting. Grade reductions will reflect upon those students who wait until the last day of the week to add participation to the discussion. So the reason why I read that out is, remember, discussion boards in our online education world replaces the dialogue that we would have inside the classroom. So because we don't have dialogue in the classroom, we are dependent upon a discussion board in order to communicate with one another. So I grade my discussion boards fairly strict. 1, you need to give a quality contribution to the discussion. That's why I said no less than 250 words. I don't believe you can answer any of these questions with less than 250 words. Then you need to give quality feedback. I don't want to see any I agree with, way to go, I believe the same thing. I want you to add to the academic discussion. And also, we can't be waiting till the last minute on Sunday at 10 o'clock at night to add to your contribution and then just give a couple more. So what I would like to see is everybody add their original post early in the week, and then follow up with quality contributions to the discussion. We also have some journal assignments. When we talk about our written assignments and journal assignments, the main difference is a written assignment is where I'm really looking for academic structure, and a journal assignment is more of an informal, as if you were talking directly to me as your instructor, a one-on-one conversation. We then have an annotated bibliography and a final exam. And then we will read through, or we have the critical assignment, is this research prospectus, and I'm going to make a second video that is going, or an additional video that is going to be entirely on the research prospectus and this critical assignment. So wait, I'll have that coming out in the next few days to come, and it'll give a good understanding of what our critical assignment is all about and how this research prospectus works. And to just give you a real small hint, this is a building blocks type course. You're going to build pieces of this research perspective each week, And ultimately, at the end, you have all these pieces, you put them together, and it is a research perspective. So this might be a little bit different than many of your courses where you do some small writing assignments, you maybe do a couple activities, and then there's a final large paper that you spend some time putting it together and you submit it as a critical. In this class, you're going to be doing the work each week. Each one of the, I kind of refer to them as building blocks. You're going to build all these pieces, and then at the end, all you got to do is put the pieces together and your critical assignment is complete. So in this course, the work's all on the front side. There isn't that mad dash in week 7 to finish your critical assignment, whereas in other courses, it might be the opposite, or that's the way many of the other courses flow. Assessment policies, there is the breakdown of the graded assignments. We have the breakdown of percentages. All grading is done in Blackboard in the Grade Center. How I do my grading is I will wait until Sunday when all of our assignments are due. Once they're due on Sunday, which I'll talk a little bit more on how the work week works, but then after Sunday, I do all the grading on Monday. So if you turn something in early in the week, it's going to sit in the grade book for a few days, but rest assured that once I get everybody's work by the end of the week, on Monday I do all my grading, and you should have grades by Monday evening. That's my goal I do every week, is do all the grading on Monday night, and so that you get that good feedback. But rest assured that if you did turn something in early in the week, I'm gonna wait until I get everybody's at the due date of that week, and then do my grading. We have the course schedule here. It's broke down into weeks, and you'll see that assignments are week 1, day 7. So, like many of the classes here in OPS, we work on a weekly calendar. Our week starts on Monday and ends on Sunday. So all of our assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. They are considered late if they are turned in Monday at 12:01 a.m. where I'm pretty strict about that. That gives us 7 days to complete an assignment. If you cannot get your work done within 7 days, we need to question our time management, because having 7 days to turn in an assignment is plenty of time based upon the workload here. If you can't meet the deadlines, it's because you need to adjust something in your life and your time management. So you'll see that as you scroll through our course schedule, we have weekly assignments, and they're all due on day 7, so Sunday by 11:59, with the only exception being week 8. On week 8, we have some assignments that start getting due on day 3, day 4, and day 5. And as many of you know, here in OPS, we need to get all of that work graded and submitted in a fairly quick turnaround in week 8. So that's why we have the early deadlines. And I'll give plenty of reminders as we get closer towards the end of this course of the adjustments to our due dates. But for the most part, on 90% of our assignments, Sunday by 11:59. Here's some expectations when it comes to professionalism, regular effective contact. I know that, like you, I have a device in my pocket that every time I get an email, I get a text, it beeps. So I know that we live in a very connected world. I'm no exception. I also know that as online students, you want instant feedback. When you have a question, you email me and you want it. I'll give you this guarantee. I will do my due diligence to get back to you as soon as possible. Like many of you, I'm a working professional. I teach on the side. I have a regular job and a regular career and a family and children and activities, but I will do everything I can to get back to you as quickly as possible, because I know that it is critical. If I do not have the answer, a lot of times I will reply to you that I will get back to you shortly. And my goal is that no email will not be, or no question will not be answered within 24 hours. And that is actually the university's requirement as well. So 24 hours, timely feedback when work for assignments, 72 hours, and 1 week for major assignments. We've already talked about the 72 hours. I'm going to do all my grading on Monday evenings, or Monday throughout the day. So you'll know that everything will be should be graded by that point. So now we're going into our late assignments. I'm going to take a minute because if there's one thing that we can do in this course to have issues, or the only issues we ever have with courses, is late assignments and turning in late work. So I have a very clear late assignment, a policy, and I'm going to read it through, and then we're going to discuss it, and it should be very clear. No late assignments will be accepted without instructor approval or a bona fide emergency, and at the sole discretion of the professor. Computer, printer, email, and similar technical problems are not an acceptable excuse for late work. If you anticipate a problem, illness, potentially family emergency, etc., let your professor know ASAP. Email, message, or checked regularly. No make-up work opportunity will be given except under the most extenuating circumstances and at the sole discretion of the professor. No assignment submitted will receive a 0 and will be calculated in the gradebook. Acceptance of late work cannot receive full credit no matter how perfect it is. Late assignments will be deducted 10% of the value of the given assignment for each day it is late. No late assignment will be accepted beyond 1 week of the original due date. No exceptions. Discussion boards intended to prompt dialogue among participants cannot be submitted past the predetermined due date because of the required interaction. The critical assignment and final exam are time sensitive and need to be submitted as scheduled. No late work, no exception. And that no late work will be accepted after the course end date. So it's pretty clear in my eyes. I'm going to go through step by step. I'm like you, and I know that on occasions emergencies occur. I know that we all live in a very dynamic, high-speed, juggling 100 things type of world. And I know on occasions emergencies sometimes throw wrenches and cause catastrophic problems in our life. And I understand that. Then that's why I do accept late work, but it has to be a bona fide emergency, and I need to be informed before the due date. So here's an example. You have a medical emergency, it's Sunday, it's Saturday, whatever the day is, nothing more than a quick email. Hey, I don't believe that I'm going to be able to get my work in on time due to my medical emergency. I'm asking for that I can turn in late work. Typically, I have no problem with granting this. I'll email you back. You have an extension, and we go from there. Then we understand that your late work is going to, or your assignment's going to get a 0. When you turn it in, you're going to get a 10% deduction, even if it's perfect, even if it was granted. All late work receives 10% per day, and anything over a week, which at that point we would be 70% off, so the best you could get is 30, there's none accepted at all. Discussion boards, there is no late work accepted for discussion boards because the whole intent of a discussion board is for you to submit and to give feedback. If it's past the point, no one's going to read your work and no one's going to read your feedback. So there's no late work on discussion boards, and the critical assignment and final exam are time sensitive and they need to be turned in on the date. There's no late work for that. So I think it's real clear. If you have a problem, I can work around anything if you communicate with me. So if we have a problem, communicate, send me an email, we'll work around anything. No communications, we're going to have some problems. The next we have netiquette. You can read through that. Academic honesty, and students with disabilities. And then there's some suggested resources for further reading if you want to, if our book isn't enough. But there you have it. That is the syllabus for POL450. I'm excited about our time together. I look forward to our time together. The one thing I always do in closing on these is this course can be very informative. It can be very challenging. I think everybody learns something from it. But the key to success in this course is to be diligent in your studies, to be very good with time management, and if you have any problems, concerns, or questions, that you get in contact with me. I have yet to find a student that is diligent, that is good with time management, and that communicates regularly with me that is not successful. But on the other hand, I've had students that are not diligent, that are very poor with time management, that do not communicate, and then they struggle with this course. So just keep that in mind. Review this and review all the videos that I send out. I'm looking forward to our next 8 weeks together. This is going to be an incredible journey. I'll keep you in my thoughts and in my prayers for continued success as we move forward in this course. And bye for now, and I look forward to the next time we can talk.